We have gathered here today to honor the memory of animation memes, although they are no longer with us. Wait, the community is alive? If you don't know what this is, the animation community originated back in the early 2000s. And it was honestly so wholesome. There was very little hate, and it just involved a person drawing their original character dancing to some kind of music. Usually quite upbeat, and it was really cute. Although this was unfortunately quite short-lived, as soon enough controversy began to arise, and some artists became unnecessarily judgmental of others in a way that was not perceived as helpful, but rather just mean. In particular, I remember a specific trend when some creators would dedicate their entire channel to just making fun of other artists and titling their videos as cringe comps. Now, I have no problem with people expressing their own opinion. If you can give constructive criticism in a respectful manner that may very well benefit an artist you're giving it to, then that's awesome. That's great, you know? Improvement. However, taking a beginner artist's work and absolutely shitting on them with blunt explanation really annoys me. I mean, look at this for example. Okay, you can see pretty clearly that that animation was definitely made by a child who is pretty new to animation, and this person displaying a much higher skill level and spelling and grammar is definitely a lot older than them, and the fact that they are just insulting them by being like, oh, that's your raft neck though, and where do I even begin? Is pretty crazy. I'd also like to add that their video got 81k views, so if that kid saw that video, I really don't want to imagine how bad that kid would feel. I know this majority of these cringe comps love to rant about the circle tool and big heads. Like, have we ever considered art style preferences favoring creativity over realism? These guys must really hate to see Powerpuff Girls come in. Anyway, that's all old news. Thankfully, the art community has moved past the cringe comps, but now not entirely against bullying children. Just because someone is sharing their art online does not mean they are open to criticism. I acknowledge that hateful comments are a regular and inevitable thing on the internet, but that doesn't make it okay. And ask them if they're open to it. Like, for example, you could say, hey, would you mind if I offered you some advice for the way you draw your eyes? I think you might find it quite useful. And then if they say yes, then you can feel free to respectfully give them some tips, you know? You don't have to insult them. And if they say no, then just simply move on and find someone else you can talk to. Also, mentioning what they did really well too helps motivate them and not entirely break their confidence, as I've seen endless comments of people expressing their own stories of when they were like young and they just started, and then some other artist would come on and just be like, this is horrible, or why do you draw your face like that? Why is the hair going for the eyes? That doesn't make any sense. In conclusion, art takes consistent practice and learning to get good at. I've personally been drawing online for about 9 years now, and as you can see, my art style, it's nothing compared to like Picasso, bro. It's not that great, and that's for 9 years. So don't expect someone who just started to be this amazing, beautiful artist that can do like wonders. It's also important to recognize what an artist's aims and intentions are, as some may aspire to have exaggerated proportions and big lashes eyes on purpose. And if you were to then comment, hey, your eyes are too big for your character's head, it looks really weird, that's not exactly helpful to the artist whatsoever. So if you do wish to give advice to an artist, make sure you ask them first. If you don't like someone's art and you don't think it's that good, that's completely fine, but be respectful about it, especially to kids.